Welcome to Comic Comics, Games and Collectibles, your zen of geekism. We carry comics old and new, magazines, toys, games like Pokemon, Magic, D&D. Want Godzilla, Ultraman, Star Trek, Ninja Turtles, Funko Pops? You'll find it all here. Shop our Cosmic Sound Room and pick up a record or two. Enjoy our Comic Coffee Lounge with a cup of Sasquatch coffee or a delicious menu item while geeking out over a super cool movie on our big screen. Come by and say hello to Maui. Cosmic Comic, Games and Collectibles. Superman loves us, and so will you.
Alexander Salvador, the Grand Inquisitor, the Veilguard's greatest champion, stands as our only line of defense. This perilous journey will change him forever, and the fate of our world will rest on his shoulders. The dark fantasy will keep you turning the pages for more. Will Alexander be our salvation, or our doom?
And good evening, everybody. I am RJ Carter, Senior Managing Editor here at CriticalBlast.com. And yeah, I've been rolling in the money today. Most of it's been rolling off. That's what a payday does. It kind of, I've determined there's no such thing as payday. We keep looking, we keep talking about it. It doesn't happen. Think about it. It's always, it's 3 days till payday. It's 2 days till payday. It's 1 day to payday. And suddenly it's 14 days till payday again. I have no idea why we just can't have, the 1 day actually be there and last for a while. But, c'est la vie, such is life. Let's talk about comics and people who should be crowdfunding in some money to roll in. Today, we are going to go back to Indiegogo. We go back and forth between Indiegogo and Kickstarter, where, we're platform agnostic that way. Even though Kickstarter's new person blocked our account, we'll forgive them. We'll move on. Tonight we are looking at a campaign, 7 days old, 200% funded, doing something right. We have with us Stephan Velez, who is doing the Veilwalker. Stephan, welcome to the show, sir.
Thank you so much for having me on. And I just want to start by saying that shirt is giving money laundering a whole new meaning.
Absolutely, yes. This I've been told this shirt is so money. That I don't know why I have weird shirts.
I'll say I like it. Let me know where you got it. I want my own.
Probably a Goodwill somewhere. That's the case.
But thank you so much for having me on. I appreciate it.
Glad to do it. So I'm looking at your main character here, Veilwalker,
Yes.
Veilwalker, and I gotta say I'm seeing a bit of a resemblance now that you're on stream with me, man.
Everyone says that. Everyone says, "Hey, man, how are you? Associating yourself with these guys, and you're a self-insert." And I am not a self-insert. Alexander, our main character, Alexander Salvador, if anything, looks like my brother. I look up to him very much. And when I was figuring out what our main character was going to look like, he was the first one that came to mind.
Well, there's definitely a resemblance. You could cosplay him at conventions when you do your signings and get your tables going, man.
I wear a suit for work every day, so I cosplay him on a daily.
There you go. So this is your first campaign, and like I said, you had a small goal, but you're already 200% funded, barely even started. Yeah. So you've got to be feeling pretty good about that. You're doing something right.
I do feel pretty good about it. Honestly, I had a couple questions come in. It's like, why is the goal so low? I was, well, the artists, and everything was pretty much already funded. We're just looking to get this book to more and more people, and this is just going to cover printing and shipping for us.
Well, that's all you need. So this should be landing you already on the projects we love kind of list for Indiegogo, which which can only lead to more people seeing it. Uh,
Hopefully.
I don't know though. I mean, I hope more people do. I'm not saying that, but uh, does anybody actually come into Indiegogo through the front page, or do they all go in directly to the link they've been given for the project they're showing?
What I can tell you is, from my own personal statistics, people are mostly going through direct links.
Yeah.
Indiegogo isn't driving much traffic to our site. We've had 720 different, as of yesterday, different views, and most of them have come from direct links like Twitter, podcasts. I've had quite a few that have linked to the campaign. So let's see. Hopefully we can land on the projects we love, and we can get a few more eyes on it.
Yeah, speaking of those links, we have one up there at the top of the chat. We have one below the window. People, you have two options to click on here to get behind this campaign. But yeah, my statistics show the same thing. Criticalblast.com, we have a front page, and I've been meaning to get it fixed for a while because there's a coding issue. It makes it look a little wonky at times, but at the same time, I'm like, but nobody comes in through here. Nobody ever sees the front page. They all just, follow the news links to whatever articles are up. So it hasn't really been a priority. If it goes all 404 on, then yeah, I'll have to up my game on it. But right now, just kind of, hey, if I find a Drupal programmer, if you know what I'm saying by Drupal, hit me up on DMs at Twitter at Critical Blast. We can talk. I might have some work for you.
Honestly, I have a Wix page. They're not sponsored, right? I have a Wix page, and that's kind of where we put all of our stuff. Very easy to use. When you're talking about coding and all that, you lost me. It reminds me of MySpace back in the day.
Yeah, I've seen some Wix pages. They're good, especially if you got if you don't have an ever changing content management system, you just want to say, this is what I got. Let me know if you want it. Works perfectly. I'm gonna have put in very soon though into the content management system shopping cart, because we're going to get to the point where I got to thinking we do this fulfillment thing, Stephan.
Okay.
Where we work with crowdfunders, and we're getting the books in from international people and from domestic. We package them up, we ship them out, and I kept saying, hey, overship, because you know what, we're going to market these books to. We got 2,500 comic shops we got the contacts for. And if, comic shops want to get these crowdfunded indie books in for their customers, they'll be going through us. And I was like, and you know what? We got an Amazon store account. We'll list it on there as well. And then it just kind of hit me. It's like, I have a website. Why don't I just sell them direct also?
Yeah.
And then, people could just say, hey, I don't want to find a store that's got it, or I can't find a store that's got it. Can you just send me one? I'm like, can you send me money? And as long as I got a way for them to send me money, I got a way to send them a book. So I might have to look that up.
I'll say this. Once you got all that under wraps and you got it good to go, you can count on the Veil Walker being part of your catalog.
Well, hey, the shipping's already happening, man. We've done 2 so far. We got a dozen clients lined up that are sending us their books. This right here, this is all the original artwork that was being delivered for Sin Killer. I'm just waiting for the Sin Killer books to arrive, and then we're going to shuffle it all together and put them in boxes and mail them. It's not a bad gig, really. It's mindless. I like mindless jobs. You just kind of
just put it together, read a list, put things together, and keep going.
Exactly. I segregate them into piles of all the same. I'm like, okay, these 15 are all the same for these people. Just do this. Don't have to think. Just I was born for an assembly line job, I think.
I mean, but wait, what you're doing now is great, and thank you so much for even giving an option to some of these people, because I have heard about you through the grapevine, and you're doing some great work.
I'm trying, and I can't draw. I can sometimes write, but I want to be involved in this. And shipping was like, hey, this is something. Have you ever seen Coal Miner's Daughter?
I have not. I've heard of it.
Okay, there's a scene in there where Sissy Spacek, playing Loretta Lynn, she's left her husband, Tommy Lee Jones, and goes back home to Mama. Barely been married, and she's been sick and thrown up, and Mama's like, oh dear, and she has to go back because she's pregnant. And she tells him he's pregnant, and Tommy Lee Jones has the line, because she couldn't cook, she couldn't keep house, she couldn't do anything, and he says to her, "It's like, darling, I think we finally found something you know how to do. Uh, and that's the voice in my head when when it comes to shipping in comics is like, I can't draw, can't write. Hey, I think we found something you know how to do.
Yeah. I mean, no, but you're doing it. You found your calling, and you're doing it well. And I only believe that it is up from here. I'm pretty sure you're going to be shipping half of the campaigns that roll through these sites. Trust me.
It's up from here for everybody, man, including the Veil Walker. Because this is your baby. Let's talk about this because you're writing this. Are you're not doing any of the art on this, right? You're just the writer. Oh my God! Slap my face for saying that.
No, the writer creator. I did a good majority of the design work. I am a bit of an artist, but I am such a stickler for quality that I didn't want to draw it myself. I said I honestly believe that this is going to be a hit. This is going to start something big, and I want to start off on the right foot. So we went ahead and hired professionals that are going to be working throughout the life of this project.
All right, so who is the Veil Walker, and what kind of a world are we looking at? Is this the world outside our window, or a world we don't see that's outside our window, where shadow elements take place?
Exactly.
Walk us through
Exactly.
it.
Yeah. So I'll give you the short first, right? If we were to take The Sopranos or The Godfather and combine it with Harry Potter, then you're getting the world of the Veil Walker. And for the character himself, if you were to combine Spawn, John Constantine, and James Bond, then you're getting Alexander Salvador and the Veil Walker. So that's sort of a blender version here, right? But the actual story, right? The Veil Walker takes place in a world where a very small percentage of people are born with something called the gift. And the gift allows these people to use their spiritual energy, or their mana, as we call it in the universe, to cast magic. And in order of ancient wizards and witches was put together just over 500 years ago to protect these people and keep them secret. But one of their other duties is to keep creatures from beyond the veil, which is another sort of plane of existence or dimension, at bay, and hunt them down as they sort of pass through. And that job belongs to Alexander as the leader of the Inquisitor's branch of the Veil Guard. He is tasked with all sorts of things. And this actual story, so this particular arc, begins when a Twitch streamer, of all things, goes missing while on a live stream. And Alexander is sent to investigate what actually happened.
So like on camera, now you see me, poof, now you don't.
So actually, the page is just below. You can actually see it happen if you scroll down a bit, since it's very topical. If you scroll down a bit, we'll be able to see it there. And there it is. That is the page where the
he doesn't just disappear. He gets eaten by a raw meat octopus.
I can't wait until you guys see. I guess we can call them tentacles. What those tentacles actually belong to. The most I can say is I am drawing a lot of influence for my creatures from Lovecraft.
Yeah.
So this is So this is going to be pretty cool once we reveal the creature as a whole, which it will be partially revealed in issue 2. There's a full reveal somewhere further down the line. So
I'm digging the Spider-Man Easter egg in the background.
I've been saying it for a while. That might get covered up with a word bubble.
Okay.
So let's see if I can work it around, and maybe we can leave it there. But obviously, Spider-Man is huge.
Oh yeah.
Pay homage. We got to thank our artist Sajad for that. He decided to throw that in there.
So your character's a title of the Inquisitor, and I'm curious about how you settled on that, because historically the Inquisitor is somebody you don't want to meet, even if you're a good person. They're the ones who ask all the hard questions and determine whether or not you're be ye witch or be ye not.
I love how you're the one who made that connection. Yes, the Inquisitor's branch are notoriously known, even amongst the gifted population, as the hardasses. They are not a group of people to be trifled with, and As you can see, Alexander's at the top of that, so you can just see he's the hardest of all hard asses. So yeah, we looked through history and we wanted to find something that really matched what this branch of the Veil Guard was sort of tasked with doing, and we landed on that.
Now, is this a world where all of this magic stuff is hidden, or do people who are not magical know about it? Maybe some of them know about it. I'm not quite sure whether it's a public thing or a my best friends know kind of thing.
No, so not even the best friends. It's very hidden. It's been kept secret for hundreds and hundreds of years. And there are very few people outside of the gifted community that know about it. And for the most part, people who are outside of the gifted community are actually gifted themselves. So let's say politicians or high-ranking staffs of cabinets, they are actually gifted people who have been placed there to help the order, one, maintain a secrecy and maneuver as they will.
So to maneuver as they will, is there an agenda that they have other than just, we can't let people find out about us because, these much lesser powerful people will hurt us?
Their main goal, right? I think we gotta be careful with the word agenda.
Yes.
But their main goal here is really to protect the gifted, right? Protect that population, because again, there's not a lot of them. It is a very rare gift, hence why we call it the gift or trait. And their main goal really is to protect them and keep the veil secret and hunt any creatures that come from beyond it. So they are not pushing any other agenda. Let's say they're not, Magneto with the mutants where he wants to eradicate mankind. They just want to protect theirs and the rest of the world, but they don't believe that the world is ready for this information yet. So there might be a day somewhere down in the future, but as of right now, they're not.
Well, their job has to be getting harder and harder because, it's not like it's the 1600s and you can say, oh no, this was soured milk that, made the entire village sick, not some gaseous creature you think you all saw. Now it's, everybody's got cameras, everybody's got Twitch, something happens on a live stream, you got to explain it away in a much more believable fashion.
Yeah, and actually, thank you for bringing that up, because that's why we started with this. What you saw there was page 2 of the first issue, right? We're already exposing this to the world, and how is Alexander and the Order going to explain that away, right? So that's something that we want to show people and say, hey, look, this is getting harder for them, but there are ways that they are keeping it secret still, and it's a very topical sense in regards to some of the complaints that people might have with modern mainstream news, where people will just eat up whatever is fed to them. So we're playing with all of that. Let's see how we can do it.
Well, the thing about where's my soapbox at? I'm not tall enough. The thing about modern mainstream news is that you feed out 2 stories, one to each type of network, and just let them fight it out over the the raw meat in the middle there, while the actual news probably is either somewhere in the middle or nowhere near it.
Right.
And the reason I say that is because it would be like I do this all the time, Stephan. I write your stories while we talk because I'm thinking, you're setting up the logic, and I'm thinking of your characters, and all the books that I've written have always been playing in other people's sandboxes, other franchises, like, the Destroyer, the Remo Williams stuff. So I'll caveat this with saying, if it were me, I would do the same thing. I would put out 2 stories, and I would send the swamp gas story to the CNNs and the NBCs and what have you. And I would send out the magical creature from hell story to the Alex Jones and the conspiracy sites, and let them all just kind of go back and forth and make each other battle each other and make that the spectacle rather than what actually happened.
Yeah. So that's very close to home to what we're doing here, right? Because we needed to come up with a plausible. Sorry for the puppers here. He's
No,
probably asking for what.
you'll hear mine bark too.
So he's sorry, I lost my train of thought here with the little puppers. So what I was saying is basically we need to figure out a plausible way to explain how they've been able to maintain the secrecy in the social media and in a world where everyone has a camera in their pocket, right? So we were playing with that, and we've already alluded to it a bit, and yeah, I think it's gonna be fun.
Yeah, it's amazing how time flies. We didn't even have these, handheld camera devices as widely available as we did when Men in Black came out. And that was a similar kind of thing. Hide the aliens from everybody. Use the flashy things to, erase memories and such.
Yeah.
So I'm looking at two different pictures here. You've got this cover,
Yep.
and you've got the below it, and in each of them we got hooded, kind of an Azrael kind of armored figure here. I was going to ask if these are the same persons or if they're like, hero and antagonist, but I see the curve on the sword and I see him holding it here as sort of an umbrella. So I don't know now.
They are the same person. They are.
Okay.
That is what we call Alexander's ascended form. It is called or referred to as the Veil Walker. So it's kind of like his alter ego. That is my Batman to my Bruce Wayne, right?
Okay.
So that is what that is there.
Is this is he the only one who does this sort of special identity in the book? And are these characters known? I mean, is it a world where like, hey, the Veil Walker will get you if you don't watch your step, not knowing that he's magical and not an armored guy?
Yeah. So all the people that he'll be hunting once he comes across other magical sort of individuals, they know who Alexander and who the Veil Walker are. Okay. The Veil Walker is not a name that he has bestowed upon himself. It is actually something others refer to him sort of under bated breath. They never call him that to his face because of some events that had occurred years before the story actually begins. And yeah, it's less of a costume or an identity and more of a sort of transformation for increased power. Think Super Saiyan for Goku, or if you play video games, the Devil Trigger for Dante in Devil May Cry.
Gotcha. So we saw a little bit of the artwork here. We're seeing the Twitch streamer disappear, rather be taken away, while viewers watch, and a little bit of the black and white line art here. This is really nice stuff. I like this Kirby effect going on here.
Yep. I can't wait till you guys see what's actually going on there. It's gonna lead. It's gonna have you guys ask a few questions, because one thing I wanted to do with this story is answer a few questions, but leave you with some more new questions leading on into issue 2, 3, 4, 5, whatever it might be, and even with our arcs, because we already have all of our arcs planned out. We plan to tell this story for the next, 8 to 10 years. And each and every single arc is going to lead into the next one, unlike a lot of these mainstream arcs that don't have anything to do with the one before it. We're telling a long format story here.
I like that. I like short stories in a long run. I like Batman, 70s and 80s Batman, not, you have to read all 100 issues of the Tom King Batman to get the full story kind of thing.
Right.
It's a lost art form here. So we are getting some more colored pages here, some more samples, which is like sort of Betty and Veronica here in a basement being tormented by a specter.
Yep. So this is what some would call, some would consider maybe an ash can. This was actually an issue 0 that we did many, many years ago. It was a proof of concept. And this has been done for, I would say, maybe 4 years now. And we were just trying to finalize the feel, the colors, and the style for what the Veilwalker was going to be. And unfortunately, from the time that this was made till now, we lost our inker to Brett Booth, of all people. Adelso Corona has been working on X-Men Legends most recently with Brett Booth, and he's moving on and continuing work with him. So we made the decision to say, hey, all right, we can bring on another inker, or we can leave that door open for Adelso to someday return, and we're going to keep the rest of the team as is. So we went ahead and moved on with just Sajat Shah with pencils and with Leo doing colors. So the book is going to look a little different from these pages, but the art team is still pretty much the same, just -1.
Is the attitude of the character pretty much the same here? Because I love this. First of all, it's he's not speaking in like, you know, archaic, magical realm kind of speak. He's speaking normal English, and sarcasm and jibes. You know, he's like, you know, no more tricks, Casper. We end this. And I'm like, but that's also very boomer because nobody knows who Casper is
anymore, right? Yeah, Alexander's a bit of an older gentleman. Alexander's not, you know, in his early 20s. He's in his later 30s, right? He's a bit older. Yeah, you know, he's in his later 30s, and yeah, I think we really settled on that attitude, that character, how he sort of conducts himself. One thing that I am sort of coming out right now and saying is Alexander is not a hero. He is not a villain. He is not an anti-hero either. Alexander is saving people basically by pure coincidence, as he is a very selfish character, and everything he is going to do moving forward is for his own benefit. So if he saves a few people along the way, then great. He might let a few people kick the bucket. We're gonna see.
Yeah, he's just here to do his job. If it helps you, then that's great.
Yep.
So you've already unlocked 2 of the stretch goals here. You got the 6x9 art print.
Yep, we unlocked those and the bookmark. Yeah.
Actually, I was gonna say this stickers thing should be unlocked now too. This is $1,000
stretch goal. Yeah. So what I did with the printout and the bookmark, as soon as we funded, I went ahead and unlocked those. I said, you know what? We were gonna start these. We were actually gonna start the bookmark. I'm sorry, the printout at 1,000. But I said, you know what? Let's give people as much value as I possibly can, even for those people who back at the floppy $8 tier. You know, let's unlock this already for them. So we did that. And then we actually also unlocked the 4 additional story pages that were in development. And then we decided to say, you know what? I don't want to give people 21 pages. If for any reason we don't hit that particular stretch goal, we're just going to go ahead and give them all 25. And as Kevin Hart would say, I had to move some money from my checkings to my savings and figure it out. But those pages are coming regardless if we hit the stretch goal or not.
You're giving it all away early, man.
I just want to get this to as many people as possible.
So you've got another piece of art here, and it's a little small in this thing here, but I can tell that that's not Alexander. That's so who are we looking at here? Good person, bad person?
Yeah. So actually, if you scroll just past the stretch goals, you're going to see her in a bit of a bigger. There you are.
Oh, here we go.
Yes. So this is Samantha Redcroft. She is actually one of Alexander's proteges. And she's one of the strongest witches around. And she's a very, very important figure to the future of the Veilwalker. And we're going to see her sort of beginnings later on as the story progresses. But we wanted to go ahead and show you guys that, you know, we don't only have strong, masculine male characters, but we also have beautiful young ladies that are strong as well.
It's almost like a comic book.
Almost, right?
Yeah. So let me throw the hard question out here then.
Sure.
What separates Alexander and Samantha from Stephen Strange and Clea?
What separates them from Stephen Strange and Clea? The universe as a whole functions a bit different. Their personalities are also very different than Stephen Strange and Clea, as you can already tell by Alexander. But Samantha is going to be quite a rebel as the story progresses. And she will be, I don't want to get too much away, but she will be striking her own path and becoming her own woman. So she is not going to be a protege for too long.
Okay.
But,
She's a bit headstrong.
what was that?
Oh, and she's a bit headstrong.
Yeah.
Listen.
Reminds me of every girl I've ever had in my life.
And that's going to get upgraded to a holofoil if you hit this 8,000 mark here. So
yes, I would love to see this card as a holofoil. And since we're talking about the cards, I want to go ahead and mention right now, we're not doing trading cards. We're doing actual playing cards. We are developing a battle game with its very own unique system that we're revolving around the gift and mana as a point system. And yeah, these cards
change the word to the point system.
Is it mana, right?
Yeah, Magic the Gathering
uses mana. Well, we'll figure it out. We're calling it mana in this world, so we'll see what we call it in the card game. But yeah, so we're using that, and we're going to make sure that the game stands out and is something that people are actually going to enjoy playing. All these cards are going to be exclusive to the campaigns. So the day that we do run a campaign for a starter pack, rest assured that these cards will not be included, and you're going to roll into these tournaments like a real Pokemon master or Yu-Gi-Oh master with Exodius. You know, you have a sort of 1 of 100 card that not a lot of other people are going to have.
I have long thought, and I've talked about it on the show. I haven't talked about it in a long time, but I've long thought that somebody could really make some money if they just came up with this kind of a game and sold the base kit and then open sourced it to every other crowdfunder. Says, go ahead, make your own cards, get them approved by us, sell them in your campaign with your book. So if you can go to these tournaments like you were talking and sit down and start playing, and suddenly somebody throws a cyber frog out at you, or somebody throws out a Common America at you. You're like, this has suddenly become an entirely different dynamic world here.
Right. What I will say is, you're not the first to bring it up. We actually considered it beforehand. We didn't know how the logistics would work, because we would have to get a lot of permission from other campaigns or to get them involved and sort of teach them how the Magic system is going to work here.
Yeah.
But it is something
from you.
Right. But it is something that you're not the first to bring it up. You're not going to be the last. And I think it is definitely something we need to make happen, because the world, without giving a lot away, the world of the Veilwalker really lends itself to crossover. And as the story progresses, you guys will see why.
Oh, well, every Magic user is going to cross dimensions. So that's a given. There's I don't think you're spoiling anything that's a possibility there.
Yep.
So let's look at the tiers you've got set up. You've got the featured tier, which is the Foil Inquisitor pack. So you're getting the PDF, the foil cover of, the Farnes foil cover. So which one of these two is the Farnes foil cover?
So the Farnes Fornus is the black and red one.
Okay, so this one down here, it'll be on. Oh man, that is going to pop on foil.
Yes, I have it here, and then there's also a video on the campaign. So I don't have the Fornus cover here, but I have the main cover in foil.
Oh man, that's sweet looking.
Yeah, sorry, I have it in the bag and board, and then I have the Fornus cover back here. If you give me just a sec.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll wait for that, because I'm betting that red foil is just going to look super sweet.
Yeah, and then here is the
multiple colors on foil aren't nearly as good as they are when they're single colors. Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, so those are my prize and joys. I really like how they came out. But yeah, on the campaign page, I have a video. I have 2 videos of both covers on there, so they're a little easier to see that way.
Well, I try not to play. I've still got you on the big screen. My mouse doesn't cooperate with me very much here. I try not to play the videos off the page, because StreamYard just kind of slows them all down, and it just makes the video look bad. That's why I stole your video and ran it as an upfront promo.
No, I was like, this is the best I've ever seen my video on stream. I thank you.
I just knocked my beer over. It's capped. Don't worry. I have 2 mini fridges in this room that I rent,
Okay.
which are great for cans of soda. 4 on the bottom, 2 on the top sideways.
Yep.
Got a 6-pack. I was like, let's put a bottle in. Kind of catty corner. No, it doesn't go in there. So,
Nope, doesn't fit.
my beer fridge is my air conditioner vent underneath the desk. I just set one on there. I was like, okay, blow cold on it all day long, and then tonight it'll be cold.
It'll be freezing cold to the touch.
I MacGyver things around here. It's
It is a skill that is sadly being lost by these new generations. The ability to figure things out.
Figure things out. What do you got and work with it? I want to say hi in the chat to Mike Walters and Nefarious out here. Thanks for being here, guys. Always appreciate it.
Hey guys,
hard to have a good show when you don't have people out there actually watching it.
Yep. I mean, we can roll without them, but it just makes it so much better, more satisfying.
Everyone's watch the replay. So you're getting the dual playing cards, both the playing cards with this. The Veilguard insignia pin. Oh,
yeah,
is that like a stick pin or a?
It is right here.
We'll get you this up here again.
Yeah, let me see. I gotta fumble with the focus, but let me see if I can.
Yeah, it's focusing.
There you go.
Yeah, that has all the markings of a sticker mule back pin pin.
Yep.
It's got yep.
That is it.
Very familiar with those.
Yeah, so I actually love the design. One thing that I will tell you guys is take a good look at everything that's featured in this design because it means something to the story.
Awesome. So there's a lot, and you're getting the main foil cover. You move the books away from each other. You're getting both covers in foil.
Yes.
Plus the digital, plus the cards, plus the pin for $50.
Yep. Yes, sir.
That's a very good deal because normally you'd think the books are probably usually $25.
Exactly.
So you're getting the PDF, the cards, and the pin for pretty much free in a deal like this. But as it were, your typical crowdfunding campaign, because as I scroll, no one sat down with you, Stephan, and told you that you're not making the money on this thing that you should be.
On the main cover, I would say this. I had a few people yell at me and say, "Bruh, it's 25 pages. Who cares? Make it $15." I was like, "Nah, I can't do that to my people."
Well,
so we set it at $8.
Yeah, I mean, and that's I'm seeing more and more doing that, and it's getting more and more competitive with what's in the comic shops, because you're paying about $6 now for 13 pages of story in a 22-page comic because of all the ads.
Yep.
And here you're getting no ads and $8. So I think that's a very competitive deal. By the way, I skipped over the PDF. I know we have folks in here who absolutely have to have digital. There it is. Click it. No excuses. And let us know if you did that, please. Give us our shake and bake moment if you pick up the digital or any of the other tiers.
Yeah. I would say this. I even wanted to make the main cover even cheaper, but I couldn't because of the printing costs and whatnot.
Yeah. If you knew in advance that you were going to print 10,000 of them, yeah,
I would have made it a lot cheaper. Yeah. So what I wanted to do instead was like, okay, if I'm gonna give people an $8 25-page comic book, I want to add as much to the package as possible. Hence why, again, I unlocked the first 2 stretch goals basically right after funding.
Yeah, Nefarious has said he drops the price down to $20 for 60+ pages on his book Mavericks, which you should go out and check out, by the way. It's shipping costs that make things weird, depending on where you're shipping to and what you're shipping in it. Yeah, trust me. I've had some shipping challenges because we sit down with a crowdfunder before they start, so we can get their prices on the campaign. The whole point of doing this wasn't, hey, let's get into the shipping business. It was, hey, how come people aren't buying your book? Oh, it's because you're shipping for $35 from Australia. What can we do about that?
Right.
How can we get it down to $8, which is what we did. But the person starts a campaign and you'll be tempted to do this yourself. You're like, hey, we've got a bunch of we've unlocked everything. Let's throw some more stuff out here. What more can we give people? And I'm thinking, but you've already set the cost of your shipping.
Right. Right.
So when I have people like, hey, you know what? We're gonna give you metal covers, and I'm like, oh my God,
those are heavy. Yeah. So one thing I did is I asked around, what the typical shipping cost is, and I've actually seen that a lot of campaigns, and I'm not knocking anyone. Maybe I made a mistake. A lot of people set their campaigns for the basic $10 shipping. We're shipping in the U.S. for $3 is our shipping cost.
How? Okay, I'm a shipping guy, and I can't do that. So,
we're subsidizing from other areas. We're taking a bit of a loss on the product itself. But again, being my first, but be it my first book. Again, my main purpose with the Veilwalker #1, the prices that we've set it at, the shipping costs that are probably going to eat into any profit that we might make, is I just want to get it to as many people as possible, because the more fans we can make from this first book, the easier it is going to be to fund, and the cheaper it is going to be to print issue 2 and everything else moving forward.
Yeah, I mean, you can't ship it for $3. Your Gemini mailer and your bag and board alone are already 99 cents. And not only did the post office just raise their rates in
Did
August,
they? Oh, we're screwed.
Yeah, they raised their rates in August, and they're going to do it again in October temporarily through December for the holiday shippings. So all you crowdfunders out there, keep that in mind when you schedule when your campaigns are going to go. When if you launch in October, boost that shipping. Well, if you're going to fulfill from October to December, you may launch back in March.
That's
the nature
us.
of the beast.
That is us. Well, our campaign actually closes on the 8th. We're going to be sending the PDFs to everyone the week following. So basically from the 8th to the 10th, we're going to be shipping out those PDFs, emailing those PDFs.
Sure.
And then the book, first couple shipments are going to be going out before Halloween.
So what that's telling me is that you have the art done.
The art is being finalized. All we have is about less than half of the pages to be colored. But other than that, they'll be done before the campaign even closes.
So this is your first 30 days, right? Are you planning on doing another 30 and then in demand, or?
Nope. Doing 30 days and possibly in demand. We got to see what those shipping prices look like. But no, we're just doing 30. Because again, I want to get it to people as quickly as possible. Because if we do 30 and 30, again, that's just delaying it a whole nother month. And what I am planning on doing, hopefully it goes right, is launching issue 2 on Halloween Day.
Oh, that would be perfect. Nobody be home; they'll all be out trick or treating, right? But no, we're too old for that.
We'll set something up. And we'll make sure people want to stay home to watch us launch this campaign. Trust me.
All right. So for $8, you can get the member. For $12, $4 more, you can get this beautiful red and black and white Jorge Fornes cover with the PDF.
Yep. And I like to point out again that Jorge Fornes is the artist on Rorschach right now. He is Tom King's artist for Rorschach. That I think the last issue of that came out either today or yesterday.
I think it did. It seems like it's been going on forever now, but But so yeah, he's not an unknown quantity, which is, you had to pay him a little bit more. So that's why this book is a little bit more. You gotta make up the money you spend.
Yeah,
it's called business.
It is called business. And what I would say, it's more of a collector's item because this variant cover isn't really going to have any reprints. Where issue 1, the main cover is going to be reprinted, from here to the end of time. But the Fornes cover is a limited quantity.
That so you got it. It doesn't have a number limited here, so it's going to be limited to however many you sell, plus a couple that you print.
We'll do a few reprints for. Yeah, we'll do a few reprints. Well, a few extra prints. But then after that first sort of batch, I'm pretty sure it'll never get printed again.
All
And
right.
then by then I'll let you guys know exactly how many we printed, so you know how many are out there in the wild.
And we know there's going to be 500 of the foil covers printed. So
Yes, our goal is to do a thousand of each of the two foils, and then never print again. So even if we only sell, let's say 750 of each or whatever, if we ever get to that number, right? We'll do the actual 1,000 print to have the extra whatever how many are left over to either resell, take to conventions, cons, but we won't do anything over the 1,000.
all right, and that's probably the same here. Yes, $25 for either one of the foil covers. So I was right above. It is $50 plus everything else is pretty much free with the uh, featured tier where you get the two foil covers in it. So I did my math correctly.
Yes, you did.
Now you get the Veilguard pack. Now this is exactly what the featured tier was, only not the foil covers. So this is $30. You get both the covers, the cards, and the pen and the PDF. Did I do that right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And this has been very simple. Like, here's the books. You can get a book. You can get the other book. You can get both books. And
That's
we got
it.
the foil too.
Yeah, since we're doing everything at as low a cost as possible to us, so that we can get it as low a cost as possible to you guys, we wanted to keep it fairly simple. So here's two basic covers. Here's some foil covers, and then all the extra goodies that we can possibly have.
And then, of course, you're actually going to sell the original artwork for that cover.
I'm not sure if you've heard me.
Hurts.
I'm not sure if you've heard me before on other streams. I do not want to sell that cover. I do not.
I could hear the pain in your voice, man. It's like
I honestly believe that is going to be a piece of history. Not to sound cocky, confident, conceited, or whatever, but I do believe it's going to be a piece of history. Alexander is going to be around for a very long time, and just imagine having the #1 original cover for Blade or Spawn or something.
I'll tell you what. The last time I heard a comic creator saying, about his new material that it's going to be part of history. You see the movie poster. It's going to be like the Batman movie poster. You didn't have any words. You just saw the bat, and everyone said, "Oh yeah, Batman. That's going to be mine." You're just going to see the symbol on the poster, and they're going to say, "Oh yeah, it's that." And that was 1989 Chicago Comic-Con. Todd McFarlane talking, and I'm sitting in the audience going, "Yeah, right." So yeah. Go with that piece of history business, because history's proven that it kind of works out for folks. Can you imagine having that original artwork for Spawn #1?
That would be that. It's worth a fortune. It's worth a small fortune.
Not a tracing over Spider-Man 300 anyway, but it's still.
But regardless, it is the first piece. Now, here's the craziest part about all of this. Not only is that the #1 for the Veil Walker, but it is also the first drawing Sajjad did of the Veil Walker. Besides the original concept, right? So we conceptualized the Veil Walker. So he has a few doodles, and then the actual line art for this cover was the first time that the costume and the hood were drawn as an actual render. So there was no render of the Veil Walker before that.
So this is #1 in every sense of the word. Very first appearance and getting that cover art. $2,500, not too much to ask, considering it's. I can tell you don't really care if you sell it or not.
No. I'll tell you this. I priced it at that price range so it wouldn't sell.
Yeah,
they forced me to put it on there.
Yeah. It's like, oh gee, it didn't sell. I was like, we had a yard sale once and it was like, everything must go kind of yard sale because we were moving. And I
Yeah,
had my Alex Ross plates and I put them out in the yard sale, $25. Like they
that's
ain't
it.
gonna sell at that. I'm like, I know.
Exactly. You got my point. No, no. Honestly, if someone comes through and blesses us with, 2,500 bucks for the campaign, it's gonna hurt, but it's gonna benefit everybody else. It's gonna benefit the community because that cover alone is gonna unlock like 2.5 stretch goals.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So, you
I
know, I will take the hit for the community.
and well, you had the connection where you can make more. It won't be that first one, but you can get more artwork for yourself. And I just reloaded this thing, and I'm sorry, Stefan. I've wasted your time here for the last hour.
No,
That thing did not move.
no,
It's you're in that doldrum on an Indiegogo campaign where it's like first week, next 2.5 weeks, and then last 3 days.
right, right. One thing that we've considered is we're looking at it and we're like, man, we've gotten just about 800 people to look at it. Did we do something wrong with the campaign? And, I've had some people come and say, no, man, your campaign looks great. Your art looks great. The book looks great. You're doing everything you need to do on these streams. What it is everybody blew their load on Shane Davis and Black and White. So, they're waiting to recoup their paychecks before they come back. So,
Oh
the book
yeah.
is funded. We're staying patient. We know the book is funded. Book is going to happen. I believe that a lot of people are going to come through at the end of the campaign to make sure that they don't miss out on this.
I think a lot of people use their phone, the little calendar function, because if you look at mine, it says 9/27 back Wolf's Bane, 10/4 back Spicy Pulp. So I keep track of when things are going off, especially Kickstarters. I don't
Yep.
like I don't like putting my money out there on a Kickstarter and then having to remember that they're going to take it later instead of the fact that they didn't just take it now. That's why I like Indiegogo.
Immediately.
Take my money now and it's gone. I don't have to worry about
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
If I look at
Another
PayPal, that's
thing.
really what I got.
Yeah. No, another thing is we funded within the first 5 hours, so I bet that if we were still trying to push sorry about that, for the goal, people would be backing it. But since they're like, it's already funded, you know what? We're going to wait around until it's about to
Yeah,
close.
we're gonna
So
relax.
honestly, we know we have a winner. We absolutely know we have a winner. So I am very confident that people are going to show up. Hopefully they start showing up soon, but I know they're going to show up at the end and push it over the limit.
Yeah, that's just the way it goes with this. Stefan, before we go here, we never really got a chance to talk about how you decided to get into comics here. I mean, why do comics? You're obviously losing money at this.
Yeah, so I just wanted to tell a story, man. Me and my buddy HP Francisco, who's also my editor, got together, I would say when we were like 21, 22 years old. And we started conceptualizing and figuring things out. And we initially wanted to make video games back in the day, is what we wanted to do. But it is a very hard industry to get into it. It's extremely expensive. And none of us were born with a golden spoon in our mouths. So we had to come out of the muck and we said, you know what? Let's do comic books. It's a much cheaper alternative. And oh my God, were we wrong? It was cheaper, but it wasn't cheap, if you know what I'm saying.
No, it's definitely not cheap. I say it all the time. It's a business where for a small investment of a few $1,000s, you can walk away only having lost a few hundred.
Exactly.
So
I'll tell you this. I actually launched the Veil Walker, at the time was called Alexander, back on Kickstarter in 2018, August
wow.
of 2018 or September of 2018, I think it was. And I had invested, I would say like $2,000 at the time into Facebook ads.
Ooh.
And I got 4 backers from it. So the book obviously didn't hit goal because at the time it was like a 90-page novel, a graphic novel, with a goal of like $55,000. And we were like, the art looks great. It doesn't matter if we're an unknown commodity. People are going to look at it and immediately back it. We got $500 out of 5,000 or 55,000, and it put me into recovery mode for the next 3 years, and here we
Yeah.
are today.
So you were doing a graphic novel. Now you're chopping it up into floppy chapters, and then of course, by the time you get the last one out, you'll have a following where you can fund the graphic novel and do the trade paperback deal.
Exactly. Well,
As
we're
you move
gonna
into the next arc.
yeah, we're gonna test the market, kind of see what people like. If we can put out a graphic or a floppy every 2 or 3 months and really get it to people as quickly as possible, and they really like that, then we'll continue to do that. But if after this first arc is done and we compile it into maybe a hardcover graphic novel, and they say, look, let's just do graphic novels from now on, then I am a man of the people, and what you guys ask me for, we will do.
There you go. All right. Well, Stephan, thank you so much for bringing the Veil Walker onto our show tonight here to promote for you. It looks really good. I'm going to put this on my watch list. In fact,
Thank you.
Oh, I already took it off the screen, but I just clicked the follow button. Take my word for it.
Thank you.
So I'll get the updates on that, and like everyone else, I'll be in there during that last week because that's when the good paydays hit.
Yep.
and for I like crying out loud, for $8, why would I not? Just to try it, $8 is nothing to try on a comic.
Yeah, and the reason we came up,
again,
we're not sure how we're gonna do it, but we're gonna figure it out. That's what we got. No, we're pretty confident that we're gonna make it happen. And again, this is an investment, and this is something that I am gonna have for the rest of my life, and I'm gonna pass on to my children and my grandchildren in the future. So if I make a loss in order to get it to the people, then I'll take it, and we'll keep rolling.
I hear you. All right. Everyone in the chat, thank you so much for being here. Do encourage you to share this video so that, Stephan's work can be put in front of more eyeballs, get that pushed out there virally. That's how the whole thing works. You share it, they share it, somebody else shares it. As always, we appreciate you being here every night. We don't have a show without you. And we just hope that while you were here, you had a